What if I told you a sandwich once defined an entire era? From Spam fried in wartime kitchens to peanut butter and mayo on soft white bread, these flavors tell forgotten American stories. Today, we're unwrapping 25 sandwiches that time, and most menus have left behind. Some will make your stomach growl, others might make you cringe. Let's dig in. Fried Spam Sandwich. Spam was introduced by Hormel in 1937 and became a wartime staple because it was long-lasting and inexpensive. So ubiquitous was it among soldiers that it was brought back into people's daily lives when they were demobilized. The fried Spam sandwich, served with mustard or mayonnaise between slices of toasted bread, became a testament to endurance in hard times. Interestingly, even a more popular following was seen for Spam in Hawaii, where it became a part of local cuisine to such an extent that it gave rise to foods such as Spam musubi. Today, some see it as a relic, while it remains a comfort food for others who have happy family breakfast recollections and stories of the war associated with it. Spam was nicknamed the meat that won the war, due to its role in feeding Allied troops. In post-war America, it was proudly used in creative dishes featured in women's magazines and church cookbooks. Many veterans continued to eat Spam simply because it reminded them of survival and camaraderie. Fake chicken sandwich. Meat was a luxury people couldn't even dream of in the Great Depression. Clever cooks experimented with mixing foods such as chopped tomatoes, beaten eggs, grated cheese, onions, and herbs to replicate chicken in texture and taste. This creative meal was nourishing and also reflected creativity when faced with adversity. Families sat around the dinner table and shared this simple sandwich and stories of hardship that became fond recollections. Today, it remains a reminder of past generations' creativity. Children often believed it really was chicken, not realizing the illusion until years later, a testament to how well it worked. Recipes for mock chicken spread were passed down on handwritten index cards and became a badge of honor for frugal cooks. It was also served at church potlucks and school functions, where taste mattered more than ingredients. Sloppy Joe. The origins of Sloppy Joe are contested, with some assigning them to a Havana bar and others to a Sioux City, Iowa area cook named Joe in the 1930s. Wherever it was born, this saucy mixture of ground beef, onions, tomato sauce, and spices was soon a family staple. Its low cost and convenience made it a staple in economic hard times. Kids in particular enjoyed its zesty taste, even demanding it for school lunches. Variants were soon to follow, including vegetarian renditions and those with other meats involved, a testament to its versatility and long-lived popularity. By the 1950s, canned Sloppy Joe mixes like Manwich brought the dish into mainstream America. In many households, Tuesday nights became Sloppy Joe night, a tradition that lasted for decades. The sandwich became a pop culture icon, referenced in sitcoms and school cafeteria menus. Mayonnaise and peanut butter sandwich. Uncommon to most people today, a mayonnaise and peanut butter sandwich became popular in the southern United States in the early 1930s. The sweet, nutty peanut butter was balanced by creamy, tangy mayonnaise to produce a distinctive flavor. The peanut butter and mayonnaise sandwich became an icon of thriftiness and creativity in this time of hardship. Families would top it with lettuce or bananas to add to its taste and nutrition. Though it may cause a raised eyebrow today, to most people it brings back pleasant memories of less complex times and childish lunches. During the Great Depression, this sandwich provided essential calories for children heading to school. Its ingredients were shelf-stable and inexpensive, making it ideal for rural and urban families alike. Many adults today recall it as the sandwich you didn't want to trade at lunch, but secretly loved. Marmite and Cheese Sandwich. Having originated in the UK, the Marmite and cheese sandwich is a mixture of cheese's creamy texture and Marmite's salty umami flavor. Served on wholemeal bread, it is a traditional favorite in homes around Great Britain. Marmite is a yeast extract product with a taste so divisive people love it or loathe it. The sandwich was a school lunchbox regular and a popular tea-time treat. For a good number of Brits, it reminds them of their family gatherings and childhood. Marmite was rich in B vitamins, making it especially prized during wartime rationing. Soldiers carried small pots of it in their kits, often eating it with crackers or bread. The cheese and Marmite combo became a comfort food for generations raised in post-war austerity. Chicken liver sandwich. A popular item in the 1950s, the chicken liver sandwich was a treat in most homes. Chicken livers were marinated in a combination of garlic, salt, and lemon juice, and cooked until soft. They were then sliced and stacked on toasted whole wheat bread with mayonnaise, lettuce, and tomato. The hearty, full-flavored sandwich was generally served on special occasions or Sunday dinner. Though it has lost its popularity, it is a fond recollection for those who grew up eating it. During the post-war boom, organ meats like liver were widely used due to their affordability and nutritional value, especially iron and vitamins. It was common for mothers to make liver sandwiches for children in an effort to build blood, a term that reflected the emphasis on strength and stamina during the era. In immigrant communities, liver dishes connected families to their old-world culinary roots, blending heritage with American practicality. Monte Cristo sandwich. A rich dessert, the Monte Cristo sandwich is a form of French croque-monsieur. A combination of ham and cheese is placed between bread slices and coated in egg batter before frying until golden brown. Dusted with powdered sugar and also served with jam, it is a good balance of sweet and savory flavors. The sandwich gained fame in America in the mid-20th century, partly due to its appearance in Disneyland's Blue Bayou restaurant. The distinctive taste and appearance were what attracted diners in search of something different. It became a quintessential indulgence during the 1960s when American diners and theme parks embraced theatrical presentation in food. The Monte Cristo reflected a rising cultural curiosity for international cuisine, albeit with an Americanized twist. It also fit perfectly into the era's love for convenience cooking, as it was rich, impressive, and relatively easy to prepare at home. Sardines and egg sandwich. The sardines and egg sandwich was a staple food in the early part of the 20th century, particularly when there was a shortage of meat. Sardines were combined with mashed hard-boiled eggs and spread between slices of bread. This was a good source of proteins and was easy to make. Though it may be less popular by today's standards, it was a lifeline to nutrition when things were tough. For a few people, it also serves to this day as a family dinner memory and a testament to survival. This sandwich was particularly important during World War I and the Great Depression, when tinned fish was one of the cheapest available protein sources. Immigrant families, especially those from Mediterranean and Eastern European backgrounds, often used sardines not only for economy, but as a tie to traditional homeland diets. The addition of egg made the sandwich more palatable to children and helped stretch precious food resources further. Deviled ham sandwich. Deviled ham, a spiced ground ham spread, became popular in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. The William Underwood Company began producing it in 1868, and it quickly became a household staple. Mixed with mayonnaise, mustard, and spices, it was spread on bread for a quick and flavorful sandwich. Its long shelf life made it a convenient option during times without refrigeration. The iconic devil logo on the can became a recognizable symbol in American kitchens. It was heavily promoted during the Spanish-American War and again during World War II as part of military rations due to its non-perishable nature. In suburban post-war America, deviled ham became a fixture in picnics and school lunches, often served with potato chips and thermoses of milk. Its blend of economy and spice made it a working-class favorite in lunch pails across factory floors and farm fields alike. Potted meat sandwich. Prior to refrigeration, potted meat was a way of preserving cooked meat through encasing it in fat. This was a way of keeping meat for long periods. When consumed in sandwiches, potted meat was put on bread, spread with butter, offering a filling and convenient meal. It was very popular in the early 20th century when it provided a convenient means of preserving meat. Though it is less popular today, it is a testament to previous generations in terms of food security. Potted meat recipes were often passed down through families, especially in rural communities where refrigeration remained scarce well into the 1940s. It was seen as a mark of good housekeeping, an ability to stretch a roast and waste nothing. Potted meat sandwiches were also common in lunchboxes of miners, rail workers, and field hands, offering sustenance that could survive long hours without spoiling. Banana and mayonnaise sandwich. A staple of Southern kitchens in the 1950s and 60s, this sandwich may sound outrageous today, but it was once beloved. The creamy, tangy mayo blended surprisingly well with the soft, sweet slices of banana, especially when placed on pillowy white bread. It was cheap, easy, and oddly satisfying, a favorite for kids and adults alike during lean times. Many Southerners recall their grandmothers making it for lunch or wrapping it up for picnics. Some even added peanut butter or bacon, anticipating the Elvis-style combinations that would later become famous. While most modern palates might flinch, those who grew up on it remember it as comfort food with character. The sandwich was a reflection of post-war America's shift toward convenience foods, where canned goods and pantry staples took precedence over perishables. It was especially useful in areas with limited access to grocery stores, where fresh vegetables and meat were rare treats. This simple meal also echoed a national movement of food frugality and resourcefulness that defined American homemaking for decades. Creamed corn sandwich. If you ever opened your lunchbox in the 1940s or 50s and saw creamed corn between bread slices, you were probably either thrilled or slightly confused. This sandwich was born from a need for quick vegetarian meals that used inexpensive pantry items. Creamed corn, warmed and mixed with melted cheese or herbs, was slathered on buttered bread and often grilled or pressed into a makeshift panini. It was an easy way to stretch a can of corn into a full meal, especially during post-war food rationing. Parents appreciated how fast and filling it was. Kids enjoyed the sweetness and gooey texture. Today, it's a forgotten gem, though you might still find a variation in old church cookbooks or grandma's recipe tin. Its popularity grew during the rationing years of World War II, when meatless meals were encouraged by the U.S. government. Church potlucks and community cookbooks often featured it as an example of budget meals that nourish. It also served as a soft, easy-to-digest option for younger children and older family members, adding to its multi-generational appeal. Cucumber sandwich. Elegant and understated, the cucumber sandwich is the only item on this list that doesn't rely on strong flavors or nostalgia. It's all about delicate simplicity. Originating in Victorian England as a staple of afternoon tea, it was later adopted in American tea rooms and women's clubs during the early 20th century. Thin, lightly salted cucumber slices were layered between crustless white bread, usually spread with butter or cream cheese. It was especially popular during the spring and summer when cucumbers were fresh and abundant. Served with tea, lemonade, or dainty finger desserts, this sandwich symbolized refinement and social grace. While it may feel out of place in today's fast food world, it remains a nostalgic favorite for those who remember bridal showers, garden parties, or lazy days on the porch. The cucumber sandwich was also seen in early 20th century American etiquette manuals as a polite bite, ideal for entertaining women guests without risk of mess. In the pre-refrigeration days, its coolness was a luxury during hot months, especially in upper-class Southern homes. It was often served at garden clubs, debutante teas, and suffragette gatherings, a quiet witness to America's evolving social roles. Tongue sandwich. It might sound intimidating today, but in traditional Jewish delis and old-school European households, beef tongue was a prized cut of meat. It was slow-cooked until melt-in-your-mouth tender, then sliced thin and piled high onto rye bread, often with spicy brown mustard and a pickle on the side. In New York, tongue sandwiches were once as common as pastrami or corned beef. Rich in flavor and surprisingly delicate in texture, they were considered both nourishing and indulgent. Grandparents would often recall it being a treat, saved for special occasions or Sunday outings. As preferences shifted and offal meats fell out of favor, tongue sandwiches disappeared from most menus, but they remain a delicacy in heritage delis. Tongue was an economical cut in the 19th and early 20th centuries, especially among immigrant communities trying to use every part of the animal. During World War II, tongue became part of food conservation programs and was recommended by USDA pamphlets as a sensible meat. Jewish delis, especially in cities like New York and Chicago, helped preserve the tradition well into the 1970s, making it a cultural staple tied to family identity. Cheese Dream Sandwich. This open-faced cousin to grilled cheese first made waves during the Great Depression, when luxury ingredients were scarce and every bite needed to count. The cheese dream began as a simple slice of bread topped with American cheese and broiled until bubbly and golden. Sometimes a tomato slice or sprinkle of paprika was added to elevate it. Kids loved the gooey texture, and parents appreciated its simplicity and low cost. It was often served with soup or fruit, sometimes even for breakfast. Over time, the cheese dream evolved into creative variations, but its original charm remains: comforting, budget-friendly, and made with love. The sandwich was featured in government pamphlets on nutritious meals for low-income households during the 1930s. Many World War II-era school lunches included a cheese dream with fruit or soup, considered balanced and morale-boosting. It later inspired the modern open-faced melts and toaster oven lunches that emerged in the 1960s, showing its lasting influence on American home cooking. Scrapple Sandwich. Few foods speak to early American ingenuity like scrapple, a dish born out of necessity and sustained by tradition. Rooted in the heart of Pennsylvania Dutch country, scrapple is a true American original brought over by German immigrants who helped shape the agricultural backbone of the United States. Made from leftover pork scraps and cornmeal, a distinctly American grain, it was formed into a loaf, then sliced and pan-fried until golden and crispy. Served between white or rye bread with mustard or maple syrup, the Scrapple Sandwich became a breakfast favorite throughout the Mid-Atlantic, especially in states like Pennsylvania, Maryland, and Delaware. For generations of American families, the smell of scrapple sizzling in a cast-iron skillet was the soundtrack to Saturday mornings. More than just thrifty, it reflected a pioneer mentality: waste nothing, flavor everything. Today, scrapple sandwiches still grace roadside diners and farmers' markets, offering a bite of American culinary heritage with every crispy, savory mouthful. Chicken and Cranberry Sandwich. This sandwich is proof that Thanksgiving flavors aren't just for November. Featuring tender roast chicken layered with tart cranberry sauce, often with a slice of brie or a smear of mayonnaise, it became popular in the late 20th century for turning leftovers into gourmet-style lunches. Served on artisan bread or crusty baguettes, it offered a festive twist that was both familiar and indulgent. Many associate it with cozy weekends, post-holiday relaxation, or cafe lunch specials. It's still made in some delis, but is less common than its simpler cousin, the turkey sandwich. For those who've had it, the taste instantly brings back warmth, celebration, and togetherness. This sandwich's charm lies in its balance: savory, creamy, and sweet in one bite. It's also a creative emblem of how families transformed festive abundance into practical, flavorful meals. In fact, it's often a go-to for holiday brunches or wintry picnics, adding elegance to everyday leftovers. Spam and Pineapple Sandwich. Born during Spam's golden age and Hawaii's growing influence on American food, this sandwich blended fried slices of Spam with juicy pineapple rings, sometimes topped with melted cheese or a touch of honey. It was sweet, salty, and entirely mid-century in its boldness. Versions of this sandwich were served at luau's, cookouts, and even school lunches. It captured the post-war fascination with tropical flavors and convenience cooking. While it may seem eccentric today, it represents a time when canned goods and flavor mashups were symbols of innovation. And honestly, it's still weirdly delicious if you're brave enough to try it. This combo became a symbolic celebration of America's relationship with Hawaii post-statehood in 1959. The sandwich was frequently featured in family fun magazines as an adventurous twist on weeknight dinners. Some home chefs even broiled it for an extra caramelized edge, a technique that gave this quirky bite a gourmet glow. Anchovy paste sandwich. Popularized by Ian Fleming's James Bond story For Your Eyes Only, the anchovy paste sandwich, specifically gentleman's relish, was once considered posh and sophisticated. The paste was made from anchovies mashed with butter, breadcrumbs, olive oil, and pepper, then spread on toast and topped with cucumbers or parsley. It was intensely salty and savory, perfect for strong palates or pairing with wine. In the 1950s and 60s, it appeared at cocktail parties and in men's clubs, especially among Anglophiles. While it never became mainstream in America, it left a cultural impression as the sandwich for grown-ups. Today, it's almost vanished, except from the pantries of food historians and Bond fans. The original British spread, known as patum peperium, was marketed with aristocratic flair, making it a status symbol in mid-century homes. For intellectuals and artists, it became a mark of taste, both literal and cultural. Despite its fading fame, the anchovy paste sandwich offers a salty link to vintage sophistication and culinary daring. Bacon and peanut butter sandwich. It's hard to imagine a better collision of salty and savory than peanut butter and crispy bacon. This sandwich rose to fame in the 1950s and 60s and was a common snack for growing boys with fast metabolism and big appetites. Some added banana slices, Elvis style, others a drizzle of honey for extra indulgence. It was packed with protein and tasted like breakfast and dessert at the same time. Parents praised its energy-boosting qualities, while kids simply loved the crunch and goo. Though rare now, it still pops up in trendy cafes or on nostalgic nights in college dorm rooms. Rumor has it that Elvis Presley wasn't just a fan, he made this combo famous, especially with his famed Elvis sandwich. Nutritionally, it became a go-to for athletes needing fat and fuel before the concept of energy bars. Its comeback in hipster food trucks has reintroduced the bizarre brilliance to adventurous eaters. Pimento cheese sandwich. A Southern icon, this sandwich has deep roots in early 20th century American kitchens. Pimento cheese, a spread made from cheddar cheese, mayonnaise, and diced pimento peppers, was originally considered a high-class delicacy in the North before becoming a beloved staple in the South. Served on white bread or crackers, it became synonymous with backyard picnics, church gatherings, and tailgates. Many remember it being packed in lunchboxes or served with sweet tea on warm summer afternoons. Over time, its homemade charm made it a symbol of Southern hospitality. Even today, the caviar of the South holds strong in diners and delis from Georgia to Kentucky. The spread was once factory-produced and sold in glass jars, many of which became collectible jelly containers. It also became a centerpiece of Masters tournament menus in Augusta, adding fame to its humble status. For Southerners, it's more than a sandwich, it's a rite of passage. Mock ham salad sandwich. Another Depression-era innovation, this budget-friendly imitation of ham salad used ground bologna or leftover cold cuts mixed with relish, mayo, and mustard. It was blended until creamy and served between soft bread slices. Despite the mock label, it often tasted just as good, if not better, than the real thing. Families used it to stretch food during lean months and feed crowds at reunions or church functions. The pinkish hue and tangy flavor made it especially appealing to kids. Though its name may not scream sophistication, the mock ham salad sandwich was a quiet hero of the 1940s lunch table. In many cases, local butchers would grind mystery meats into salad mixes for home cooks too poor for ham but hungry for flavor. It was also a staple of post-funeral gatherings and potlucks, where comfort came not from expense, but from familiarity. Today, this sandwich lives on in retro diners and through passed-down family recipes. Victory Sandwich. The Victory Sandwich was a culinary tribute to post-World War II optimism and rationing resourcefulness. Built with whatever was on hand, day-old bread, butter, cold cuts, or pickled vegetables, it celebrated the end of scarcity while honoring frugality. Some included a layer of Victory Garden veggies, a reminder of the homegrown efforts that supported the war. Patriotic cookbooks promoted these sandwiches as part of morale-boosting meals. Parents would use them as teaching moments for children, explaining the value of not wasting food. Though humble in appearance, the Victory Sandwich was a symbol of resilience, gratitude, and community pride. In many towns, children were encouraged to pack Victory lunches with garden-grown produce and leftovers. Even Franklin D. Roosevelt's wartime food boards issued guides on how to build one. While the ingredients changed by the household, the message never did. Simplicity can be heroic. Olive Loaf Sandwich. If you were a kid in mid-century America, chances are you saw a slice of olive loaf staring back at you from your lunchbox. This cold cut combined ground pork and beef with green olives for a salty, tangy bite that stood out from typical deli meats. Layered with mustard or mayo and lettuce, it was a lunch staple during the 1950s and 60s. It had a loyal following, especially among those who liked a little zing in their sandwich. Olive loaf was also one of the first lunch meats heavily advertised to housewives for its flavor variety and low cost. Though processed meat trends have declined, olive loaf remains a nostalgic favorite for those who remember school lunches and picnic baskets. The visual alone, a mosaic of pink meat and green olive rings, was as memorable as the taste. Advertisements even suggested pairing it with Jell-O salads and iced tea for the modern woman's lunch. While it's rarely seen today, a bite of it brings back vinyl lunchboxes and linoleum kitchen floors. Fish Stick Sandwich. The invention of fish sticks in the 1950s revolutionized quick meals. Golden, breaded, and freezer-friendly, they were one of the first frozen foods marketed during the TV dinner boom. Placed between slices of bread with ketchup or tartar sauce, the fish stick sandwich became a cafeteria favorite. It was fast, easy, and mild enough for picky eaters. Many baby boomers recall them as Friday night dinners, especially in Catholic households observing no-meat Fridays. While less common today, this sandwich represents a moment when convenience met comfort, and kids finally agreed to eat seafood. Its rise coincided with Gorton's of Gloucester becoming a household name through TV ads. Moms loved it for being both mess-free and easy to cook during busy evenings. Some versions even added American cheese or pickles, turning it into the seafood version of a classic melt. So, how many of these sandwiches have you even tried yourself? Tell me in the comments, and extra bonus if you have a family recipe brought down through Grandma's lunchbox generation. If you enjoyed this food trip through history, go ahead and give it a like, subscribe to this channel, and share this video with someone who still knows what a cheese dream is. We have a lot more food nostalgia in store for you. Until next time, stay hungry for America's history.